say heaven is the thing. You trade your legs for angels' wings. One day we've all said goodbye. You take a running leap and you learn to fly. Bye bye, little Sebastian. Miss you in the satisfaction. Bye bye, little Sebastian. You're 5,000 candles in the wind. You know we all miss you every day. We know you're up there reading heaven's hay. And here's the part that hurts the most. Humans cannot ride a ghost. Bye bye, little Sebastian. Miss you in the satisfaction. Bye bye, little Sebastian. You're 5,000 candles in the wind. Everybody singing now. Bye bye, little Sebastian. Miss you in the satisfaction. Sebastian, you're 5,000 candles in the wind. Maybe someday we'll saddle up again. And I know I'll always miss my horsiest friend. Spread your wings and fly. Spread your wings and fly.
You are my heart, at least that's what I thought when we started it. As we fall apart, I see you never wanted any part of it. But you didn't like that joke I made, and I'm feeling like I'm lost in a mental haze. Bittersweet words left an aftertaste. You're my boo thing, I'm afraid.
Sold my soul, traded it in for another man. Never even had a chance, only a passing glance as you grabbed your bag and stare out the window.
I sold my soul for your pretty little eyes and a hand to hold. Lo and behold, last year's version of the man you told that you wanna run away till the moon does set. But when the sun came up, that's when you left. You were in a hurry, so you didn't even worry about the clue you left on my doorstep.
Sold my soul, traded it in for another man. Never even had a chance, only a passing glance as you grabbed your bag and stare out the window. So alone, only remember your silhouette. But you left a piece of what we could be, and my heart and stays together in the end.
it's alright now. In fact, it's a guess, but it's alright. Jumping jack flash, it's a guess, guess, guess. What's up? What's going on, y'all? So, we're streaming on multiple platforms. Whoa, what's up? Just some skills. Big gift. Thank you very much. Welcome back, Josh. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we already know the deal. Bro, the new cam is juicy as fuck. Thank you very much. It just slows down my computer a bit. But it's so nice. I'm actually going to check the delay on the audio right now. It's not that bad, actually. It's not too terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing timing tests, literally. Yeah, well, my computer is pretty slow, but it is quite nice. It is quite good looking, good colors. I don't like this whole stuttering effect here that much on the lights, though. That thing's annoying. And luckily, because it's such a great camera, I could just change that. Oh, and it's darker, though. That's darker than I would like it, but let's just say that for now. Anyways, welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for coming on by. It looks gothic. I know. What's up, Amitros? DGE, it's just some skills. Doc of Hay, first one in during the day to be part of this stream. So I thank you very much, and to be on the queue. Welcome. Krayos as well on the queue. Wait, how did Krayos get on? What the fuck? I thought it was... Oh shit, no, Krayos was first. Holy shit, y'all. Okay, Krayos was like way too fast. Holy shit. Wow, well done, dude. Bruh. What's going on, guys? I appreciate all y'all being in with me at the same time. Yeah, it does look a little gothic, eh? It looks kind of like I'm I'm about to release the latest AFI album up in this bitch. Let's try and up this exposure. That's a little better. I love this camera. It's great. But it does slow my computer down some. So yeah, we're back, folks. We are absolutely back. So I'm assuming I know exactly what Josh wants me to do. He wants me to skip the queue for him because he gifted 3 subs. And that list of subs is not changing. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just take it off. I think I'm going to just take it off because it's not working super well. It's not updating. So we're just going to do that. Unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to have to refresh this either way, but whoops, actually. Let's do that. There we go. Doc of Hay already leaving the queue. So, see ya. See you next time. Let's get this fucking queue thing going, although it's not working right now. Oh, there it is. Okay. Folks, welcome back to Magic Ninja Beats with the sub. Thank you very much. Appreciate that very much. Got work, need sleep. You know, do your thing, man. You gotta hustle, you gotta live. Damn, man. Yeah, I didn't think it was so late where you're at. All right. So just the singer, just some skills, has gifted the most subs of today, and is therefore the top gifter, and therefore gets to skip the line as it happened. Y'all, a hype train is close. So I got good news is I'm starting a new thing this year. Basically, if you want your track on the intro and the outro, not just my tired ass music, subscribe. Josh has already got one on there, actually. And yeah, we're going to be taking submissions for not only on the not only the actual review.
Oh, farted.
I forgot that existed. Thank you very much, Magic Ninja Beats, for the cheer. I forgot that was a thing. But yes, you do. I put in the end on today. It was just before you were on stream, I believe, Josh. So yeah. What's up, Couch Tracks? Welcome back, I suppose. Yeah. I can't see. It's not the Twitch chat anymore on my main screen, so I can't see who is. I can see from here, so I can't see who's a first-time subscriber and who isn't. But I guess I could see from here actually. Either way, folks, let's say we get right into this. Yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's get right fucking into this this jam. Let's start with our top gifter. Voila, Josh, you are up. And here we go with the link. I wonder what YouTube's going to think about this. Cries in pour. I feel you, Krayos. I've been crying in pour for a couple of months now. And just totally feel you on that. All right. So, folks, we got this track by Just the Singer. Just some skills, just in time, just in case. And buddy Josh, wonderful singer. And here is the track we will be listening to today. So let me get my notes ready. And they're ready. All right. fucking go. What's the date today? Jesus Christ. It's January, guys. It's January of 2024. What the fuck happened? Anyways, what is time? But before we ask ourselves the difficult existential questions, let's ask ourselves, what can we do to improve this track by Just the Singer? Ladies and gentlemen, from this latter singer, Replay.
Maybe I'm an overthinker. Maybe I care too soon. But I can't help it. Maybe I come on too strong. Or maybe I just don't do enough. I can't help it. I tried my best, but you were ready for me. If I leave today, would you remember my name? Keep getting lost along the way. Try to leave behind yesterday, but you revived all the pain. I'm stuck on replay. Always chasing, always out of reach. A mirage in the distance, I'll never get it. I'm too deep. And I can try to fix myself, but the scars I hide aren't healing well. So instead I still bleed on the ones who never cut me. I tried my best, but you were ready for me. If I leave today, would you remember my name? Keep getting lost along the way. Try to leave behind yesterday, but you revived all the pain. I'm stuck on replay.
Aha. I see what's going on here. This song is not done. This song is not over. So, yeah, because it's missing a bridge. It's missing another, like, section, basically. And at least another bridge. We'll talk about the chorus in a minute. Let's just go with what you guys are talking about. 2024 sounds so futuristic. It really fucking does, Couch Tracks. It sounds like we shouldn't already be here, considering when we look outside, what we see. 2024 is the wrong number for that. Yeah. My wife was tending the field and my poor children caught the plague, and here comes just some skills with the schmeckles, and I cannot speak to the town crier. You may. Exactly. Like, you absolutely may. But, those who pay for the privilege. That's how it kind of works in a capitalistic society. Where's my flying car, damn it? Speaking of capitalistic societies, is Krayos already done? No. Josh, before I even started the reviews, Josh gifted 3 subs to be able to skip the line for today. It's just like those rules. Krayos is up next though. And yeah, if anybody would want to skip the line, there's always a way to skip for 750 bits as well. But I'm not ignoring you, Krayos. Come on now. You know the drill. We listen to people's music and then we comment on it after. Come now. General tips. Thanks for joining the queue as well. Couch Tracks. With this pace of song, you could harmonize in some parts with some completely different words. If executed correctly, both words would be understandable. Funny you do a little of this towards the end. It's funny because that was my first instinct for the first chorus, but I think that we do need to have a little bit more energy in that last chorus either way. So like, I do have my notes on that. I'm sorry, but I find songs like this really boring because it never changes energy levels. That's why it gets boring. Well, we're going to do our best to suggest things that will boost that a little bit, for sure. It's also why I'm not going to add another section because it's too slow to make longer. Well, we can talk about that as well. No problem. Love the idea of the stream. Thank you very much. Just trying to make this happen here. Okay, so first things first, on the beginning here. So that piano reverb is very heavy. And I think it's an effect. I don't think it's the piano's reverb itself. I think it's like this like resonating sort of effect that you have as a layer in the background. I'm just saying that compared to everything else in this song, the guitars and the vocals, that is very ambient and heavy feeling. And everything else is very crisp with no or very little audible reverb. So it's, I'm assuming, Josh, that you don't have the separated instrumental for this song. I'm assuming. Right? Like you have just the stereo mix kind of thing. That's what I thought. Yeah, because we can't do much about that. We can't add reverb to the guitars, but what you can do is add a little reverb to the vocals to sort of balance it and keep it within the same universe is something that you could do, which is what I actually was my second note here. The vocals are relatively dry, or the effects in general on your vocals are not very audible just because of how much there is on that backing resonator effect kind of thing. I wouldn't have mixed it this way myself, but here we are. Okay, so my next note was for the second chorus. Actually, for the first chorus, this one here.
I drive today.
The in-between spaces, you fill them really nicely on the last chorus here with the repeat lyrics or the ahs and the oohs. That's really nice. That should be happening in the first one. Oh, shit! Geronimo TV just rated with 7 viewers. Thank you very much, Geronimo TV. That's very kind of you. That's awesome. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Welcome to Geronimo TV's viewers. And welcome to the stream. Appreciate you guys stopping by. So yeah, what I would like is personally for those vocal accents that you have in the second chorus, these ones here.
Would you remember my name?
So those accents are wonderful, and they should be in the first chorus because it's otherwise too empty. And then what we're going to need to do is put more vocal harmonies on the actual last chorus. MEVO MP, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Geronimo, yourself in the chat as well. Thank you as well. Again, for rating and for being a part of this stream. Very kind. Very nice to see y'all here, man. Very nice. So, and Geronimo with the follow. Thank you very much. Guys, we're very close to 350 followers. Appreciate all of you guys. So yeah, I would say personally, that would be my move. I would stack a couple more harmonies at the end of the song, make the song itself expand a little bit more interest-wise, just because right now we're getting a little more in the last chorus, but too little too late. And unfortunately, DGE was sort of not proof, but evidence that there are people who are like, okay, what else you got? So we want to appease those people. We want to appease people who listen to like metal and rhythm with soft music, because people who listen to metal and who listen to rhythm and dubstep also enjoy soft music sometimes. And sometimes they are just completely opposed to it. But sometimes they actually listen to soft music and they actually listen to like nice, gentle, soft songs. But that doesn't mean that just because we are not targeting those people doesn't mean we can't try. And in expanding our song a little bit more with elements of more interest in places such as with the second verse and the second chorus. Those are places where we could really build our song a little bit more effectively. I agree with the harmonies, but not the filler for the first chorus. For that first chorus, I leave the space to allow the listener to really think about the lyrics and let it hit. Okay, Josh, I'm going to tell you this. Let's review these. Just because you brought it up, I'm now going to entertain that notion. Okay? We're going to entertain the notion of let's let these lyrics sink. So we're going to listen to the words. You've now initiated this. And we're going to see how revolutionary these words are and how much we need to let them sit. Let's do this.
If I leave today, would you remember my name? Keep getting lost along the way, try to leave behind yesterday, but you revived all the pain. I'm stuck on replay, always chasing, always.
Okay. So if I leave here today, would you remember my name? What was the
Keep getting lost along the way.
Keep getting lost along the way.
Try to leave behind yesterday.
Try to leave behind yesterday.
But you revived all
of the pain. So, what about these lyrics need to sit with me? What about these lyrics are so much to handle that I can't just hear them and move to the next phrase, lead element? What about, am I missing something? Please, guys, chime in. If you think that these lyrics are so epic that I need to let them soak, which is literally what you're saying here, why is it that I don't feel that necessarily? Some good points here, Couch Tracks. People think and feel lyrics after the song is over too. And I'll tell you one thing. More people listen to the song through and then remember the song if the song itself is integrally well structured, and then try to interpret the meaning if they really, really want to. But you don't ask someone to interpret the meaning of your song the first listen through. That's a difficult ask. That's something that is a lot to ask for of our audience, especially for pop music. Yes, we can have music like that, absolutely. But like in pop, what you're asking of your audience is to listen and to feel things. For them to have to understand the things that they are feeling in the first listen through, it's a lot to ask for them, Josh. I disagree that that's a good idea. I think that you're sort of holding yourself back on that aspect. It's not specifically just the lyrics, but the delivery and pace too. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every time and analyze every aspect of your delivery, pitch, key choices, pacing, and lyrics. I'm not going to analyze every layer, but I'll just tell you by telling you what you need to hear, Josh, you're doing nothing revolutionary here. You're doing nothing crazy novel. So maybe don't think so highly of the concept because it's not really that uncommon what you're doing here. Slow song, feeling lyrics, feely lyrics, simple feely lyrics, 4-chord progression. What is so unique about this particular track? Instrumentally, not really. There's 3 things happening in the background. We're justifying our feelings so that we can make bad choices for our own music. And I'm just telling you, it's not a bad song. It's a good song. It has potential. It's like what Couch Track said. The remix potential is high in this track, though it could go a lot of ways. You're leaving the space for other people to create songs from that music. But I'll tell you right now, if the best thing about your music is that it inspires other people to make better songs, okay, you're not an artist, you're a songwriter. That's what songwriters do. Now, if you want to just release this music so that you can potentially sell it to other artists, forgive me. But I don't think that's your goal, Josh, because I think we've been over this. You want to be a professional artist. be one. Make the choices that you got to make in order to succeed, because the concept that we have here, it's nothing new. It's nothing out of the ordinary for me. I listen to it and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's got what it takes to succeed if these rules would be respected, which they are not. The other thing I will say is about the song dragging on for a long time, so much so that you don't want to insert a bridge. That's a problem. That's a problem, because we don't have a shape here. We have a verse, a chorus, a verse, and a chorus. That's not a shape. You have to have a deviation from the actual pattern in order for the song to have a shape. So my recommendation, put it before the second chorus, the bridge, whatever turnaround, whatever interesting thing. If you want, switch out your second verse altogether and make it a bridge. If you want the song to remain quick, if you don't want it to like go longer than 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which isn't that long. So I think that the excuses that we're making for ourselves here aren't valid enough for me to go like, oh, okay, I see what you're going for. And this is my honest take. I think people need to give themselves far less credit than they deserve. They think they deserve. But that's in general. And that's often a thing that happens with songwriters, a thing that happens with people who are making music, is that they get so entrenched in the way their context is looking at this song that you forget about everyone else's. And everyone else's listens to the song and goes, okay, first time listen, I get it. No need to play it a third time, fourth time, fifth time. I want your music to be streamed on repeat by artists and musicians and fans alike. So these rules are not being respected for this particular stuff. Let's see what you guys are saying here. I've heard lyrics like this often, like, I don't know, yes, DG, I agree with you, this is pretty common stuff. The remix potential, we said that already. It sounds good, but becomes a bit ethereal after a bit with no feeling of progression or build-up, agreed. The last chorus almost seems to build up, but sinks back into the beginning sound. Not enough change, unfortunately, dynamically. Some really unique or off-the-wall lines become rememberable, or a controversial line. Songs called Replay, write some lines using the word a lot, give the song more of a reason to be called that. Right, so the hookability of this song is also a little bit lacking, but that's an entire different concept. So whether or not you want the song to be very hookable and that you have very, very, very catchy hooks, that's not so much my bother, because for people will find reasons to sing along to melodies that they really, really like. But if you have not really much going on in the track in the first place, it doesn't really matter how hookable the song is. People will stop before the hook, and that's just the simple reality of it. Some songs has a pre-chorus as a beginning. Some songs has pre-chorus as being a person that listens. Song. I'm not sure I understand here what you're saying, Emivio. Really sorry about that. Not really catching. Alex Starbeats, what is good? Welcome back to the stream. Nice to see you. But yeah, my last note was, Josh, that it is missing a bridge. So we've addressed that already. So I don't think we need to say anything more about that. But I will say this, Josh, I would be careful to think what the audience is above or not. I think that we have to be careful because to a certain extent, we trust our audience. As artists, we trust our song, our artist, sorry. We trust our audience, our listeners, so much more than we really should. We give them so much credit that they will do the right thing by us as artists. We should stop that. We should stop that, because us as artists understand the value of leaving space and leaving a little bit room to breathe and leaving all of that stuff. And we understand that as well. For me, personally, the balance point between what is too full or what is not full enough is different than the majority of listeners out there. And it's funny, Josh, because I've given you the note before that your song is too full of your lyrics and your voice. And that's not necessarily true for this one. As a matter of fact, it's kind of the opposite end of the scale where I would need more lead elements to fill in how many gaps there are in this song. So I think you're still working on your balance of like interest versus intrigue, I guess. I know those two words generally mean the same thing, but what I guess I mean is like matter versus lack thereof, or like filled space versus negative space. I guess that's what I'm saying, is like the giving the audience what they want versus holding it back. I think you're still going to have to work a little bit on that compositionally. But that's cool because, you know, it's a journey. So I think you're getting there either way. And I think, as always, I appreciate you allowing us to listen to the music in the first place and allowing us to speak our mind about your song. Thank you, Josh, as always, for trusting us with your track and being such a huge supporter of the stream as well. Always a wonderful thing. I think this one needs some work. But that's okay. They can't always be immediate bangers. Sometimes you need to put a little more time into one. But I think that's pretty much all I will say about this track. Thanks again, Just the singer, Just the artist, and Josh, my buddy. Thank you for your submission and your support of the stream as always. We are going to move on to the next one. Josh, you bitter bitch. I am like, I'm giving you honest critique for the song, and it ain't positive, so he makes me do push-ups. That's fine. I actually need to do some push-ups either way. I really like listen to songs that I heard. The same song has pre-chorus before the chorus. Oh, okay, I understand, MBView. You like to listen to songs. You heard some songs that have the pre-chorus before the chorus. These particular songs are yes, the pre-chorus before the chorus is a good technique for sure. It makes the song go a little bit higher, climbing up. Kraos saying, "My lord, I'm waiting on lyrics for this track. What I'm submitting." We will take a look at that. Alex Starbeats joining the queue. Appreciate that. As it stands, it could be sold for commercial use. Has some applications there for sure. Absolutely. I think that is it's open enough to. Okay. It's open enough to it's open to like the possibility of advertisement and or commercial potential. All right, Kraos, I got your track here. Waiting for vocals, I mean. I see. Well, we're going to call up your track. Then we're going to do 10 push-ups. Because Josh said we should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! I'm a fat fuck, so I pick up like 200 pounds every time I push my body up. It's kind of heavy. All right. Whew, my eyes are bulging. Let's just open this up because now I'm getting warm in this bitch. All right. So we are waiting for some... Whew, jeez, that actually got my blood rushing here a little bit. DGE, I'm going to do them now. Let's go. Let's fucking go. All right, Kraos. That's actually wise, K. Bruce. Also, welcome back, K. Bruce. Cheers. Very nice. Okie doke. We got this track by Kraos. We gonna listen to 3 minutes of it. Yes. Right? You're a level 1 subscriber, Kraos, I believe. Yeah. I think so. Pretty sure. Either way. We got our notes ready. You got all the water of the world in that bottle. 1 liter of it at least. 1 liter of it at least. Kraos, you, oh wow, we received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. Great. I'm so glad, Restream. Thanks so much for that. But we get grandfathered in. I thought that was the deal. Yes, it was the deal for you. Absolutely. This is true because you subscribed like literally days before the switch. This is true. And you have not resubscribed since then, if I'm not mistaken, Creo. So I think it's the same subscription. As far as I remember... Bah! We'll say for now, either way, yes. That was the deal. So, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, we won't last. We won't last. We will last. We will not tarry on. We will simply introduce the song Stasis of the Ego, 135 BPM, F minor, version 1 of the track. F minor is a great key. F minor is a great key. I fucking love F minor. All right, Kreos, take it away, my dude. Jesus. Can skip some of this build. It's long without vocals. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll skip, let's say I'm seeing probably the waves change around here. All right. I think we get it from there. Good track, super aggressive, super pumpy and super punchy. The kick, personally, I think, starting with my overall comments, I think that the kick during the drops is very bright. I don't know how that will be reflected, how that will sound with the vocals, but my prediction is that it will probably take up a lot of space. It'll probably take up a whole lot of like that center element space. Which brings me to my next point. There's a lot of elements that are centered, and again, same thing. Without the vocals, it's hard to tell whether or not that's a good thing. But my prediction is there's going to be a lot of things that are stepping on top of one another. So definitely be working a little bit more with the left and right space. You do that wonderfully in the build. I just want to bring it back to here. So you have some of those soft, stringy elements on either side of the left and right spectrum, and that's nice. You have that woo, that was not even close to the note. Woo, whatever. You get it. That in a sense is very close to, or very dead centered, either way, which is fine. Again, those frequencies will maybe step on the vocals or might contrast them nicely, but we're gonna have to see what they sound like. And then there are some other elements that you do have scattered about, which are nice and ambient. And in that bridge, or rather that build, pardon me, that's fine. That's lovely. Yeah, because I'm hearing these right around this zone of the left and right, like sort of like right around there kind of thing, upright. Let's hear that drop one more time. Yeah, it's funny, at Akatsuki Leader, sorry, I had to pause to read the name. Akatsuki saying, this reminds me of the movie Tron. It's Kraos will do that to you. Kraos will definitely bring that out of you, for sure. Well done. Once again, Kraos on the vibe check the vibe is Kraos as a motherfucker. So well done on that. The bass on the build, I had an idea, but it's not necessarily necessary. You have this bass underlying here. So it's holding on that F sharp minor, right? Oh, actually, that's F. Is this F? Oh, it's F minor. I thought I saw F sharp minor. That's weird. Kraos, I could have sworn that this said F sharp minor when I started listening to this song. Somebody check the tape because I was like, that doesn't sound like F sharp minor. Anyways, so yeah, it's F either way. You start on that F sharp minor chord progression in the intro, right? And you continue on the F constant. What I would suggest maybe is playing, the tape says you liked F minor at the start of the review. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I could have sworn I said F sharp minor, but yeah, F minor is a great key as well. So my recommendation, I guess, here would be, let's put these keys on here. So you got the bass going. What I would say is just because we have that F minor everywhere so far, including on the next section, maybe you could throw some variations in these bass lines. So like go. Oops. Maybe throwing in a little bit of the play on the flat sixth and the flat seventh just during the build, because we don't really need anything else. We don't even need this technically, depending on what the vocals do, which is why this is more of like an optional recommendation rather than a, like, you should really consider doing this for your track, because it all depends on what the vocals will do. But if the vocals are improvising on the F minor scale, on the F pentatonic minor scale specifically, that will sound phenomenal. That will like really bring out the dynamics of this track, because during this part we have that musical rise, and then your drop is full out F minor the whole time. And I think that that's pretty much all that I have to say about your track, because even on this section, you have chord changes, you have element changes, and then we come back here. And then this part, I don't really mind so much that it stays on the F minor. Because you have specifically before it the musical changes in the bass lines and in the other elements as well, it does sort of, okay, we have context, you know? And then when we go into the drop, we're not going to change up the bass line either, so it's like, it just makes more sense, personally, to me. If this one were to be a little bit more musical, this one would be feeling like the sort of the same song, and then this without the musicality would feel a little more in context. And I think that that's pretty much all I got to say about your track, Krayos. It's a good first version. I'll say that. That's for sure. We have all the elements of a song that builds pretty nicely. We have elements of dynamic change between sections, and we're gonna have a lead element that's gonna bring this bitch home. So do me a favor, Krayos, the next time you're available, the next time you have, the next time that you have a song, the next time when you have this vocal ready, I should say, let me know, because I want to hear that song together. I want to hear those things uniting. It's going to make a good song. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a banger. Pretty sure. But that's pretty much all I have to say about your track, Krayos. Thank you very much, as always, for letting us listen to it, for allowing us to provide feedback. I'm assuming you're somewhat open to this feedback since you keep coming back here, so might as well. Thanks for trusting us with your track, as always, Krayos. Appreciate you, and may the good lords of your of your what's the word, seigneurie in French, may the good lords watching over your seigneurial territories provide you with enough bread. fucking hell. No, I hate it. I'm being forced to do this. Yeah, that's what I thought. As everyone here, this is just a chore for most. So that's awesome. Thank you, Krayos, as always, for allowing us the privilege of listening to your music. So we're gonna just keep it rolling on down the line. Thanks for real though. No, I thank you for real as well, Krayos, as always. I hope I did provide some stuff that could help you. I hope. All right, DGE is hitting us up here. Oh Lord. You're studying for tests right now. Yeah, I mean, you're in school and shit, so that makes sense. The waveform looks wonderful. We do like a juicy girl. We do like a thick boy in your way, in that way. And yeah, this is actually nice. This is actually pretty well compressed, I would say. Would you all agree? Would you agree about what? So here we go. Folks, DGE hasn't submitted in a while. I haven't seen him around in a while. But that's okay. He's busy. He's got school and shit. But let us listen to DGE and the Volative collab, apparently. You don't want to know what I have on the master. Probably an OTT, if I'm guessing. That's a nice clean logo. Yes, it is. I absolutely agree. Feels symmetrical, even though it's not a perfect symmetricality. It has some symmetricality, and yet somewhat different throughout. You have the white background here, whereas you have the black background there. I like that distinction. It's very nice. We like. Volative is big in the scene. Yeah, exactly. He wanted it like that. Well, here we go. Folks, without further ado, DGE and the collab featuring Volative. Let's give it a listen. Okay. It's pretty hot. It's a pretty good beat, man. It's a pretty great beat. I'm starting to ironically like the offbeat. Ironically, just because it makes me so uncomfortable. But yeah, this one is pretty good, man. This one is pretty good. Let's see what you guys are saying about it. First of all, OTT. Yeah, so I hear that, especially in the build. Especially in the build, I can tell that it's an OTT. I'm listening to it and I'm going like, really? But it's a choice, and it sounds better in the drop. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool. But if it would have been worse in the drop, I would have fucking had words for you. It sounds okay. Persona 5 type beat. You know, I don't know who Persona 5 is. Coming in hot. General tips, absolutely. You have no idea what this motherfucker. But now you found out. See, as your damn gosh, you guys. Yeah, that's DGE. He'll do that. I can tell that you were laughing when you were laughing. I can tell that you knew what I was thinking, which is like, where's the beat? Where's the downbeat? With what the hell, the scream. I know. Yeah, that was a good sample use as well. I loved that. Gas, indeed. I actually think it's a good track. So, yeah, just the way I feel about it. Blue balling, I know. Fucking kill me. Fire, I could handle some more sub and not be mad. Honestly, I agree with that. I don't think that there's much more to say, except for some of the patterns personally are a little repetitive to me. Could go into a couple of them. You are not the only one that likes it. So there you go. Mitros is digging it. On the build, there's no OTT. What? It sounds like it. It sounds all that commercial compression shit. That's weird. It sounds like the opposite of what you're saying. It's like sounds like there's only OTT on the build. Listen to this shit. If that ain't some over-compressed high mids, I don't know what the fuck is. And again, if it would have stayed that way for your drop, I would have had a problem. But it doesn't. So, no harm, no foul. There is on the piano. Oh, well, then there is some on the build, then, isn't there? DGE. So... there is, I mixed this on $5 headphones. Mine broke. Well, you certainly learned those headphones pretty quickly. Because your drop sounds pretty clean, man. I agree with, I believe Couch Tracks is the one who said it. Where did it say? Where do you say it? Yep, couch tracks. I agree with couch tracks. There could be more sub on this. No problem. I like using 3 OTTs in a chain with each one handling different frequencies. One for low, one for mid, one for highs. It sounds more natural. You know that a multi-band compressor by nature does that, but I get what you're saying is like you're allowing for each compressor to do its own set of frequencies, but you could just use the dynamic EQ in multi-band and just accomplish the same thing. But I get why you're doing the way you're doing. It's just it sounds. I know the crossover is different. Exactly. That's the whole thing here. Multi-band compression on multi-band compression. Yeah, but he's not like he's yeah. Anyways, I get it. Let's listen to this pattern a couple of times. I want to like count how many times each section repeats. Wow, really? Does this actually happen? My fucking computer pauses the audio when I get a phone call? Shut the fuck up. Okay, so... yeah, I have a thing where the repeats themselves, in and of themselves, get a little bit repetitive, and I feel like you could change the... and when the phone stops ringing, it just resumes. Like, okay, here we go. I have a thing where the pattern itself repeats within its own section too many times, and then the pattern changes, and then it repeats out of its section, and then that pattern repeats within its own section too many times. I'd say throwing one of these in section A and throwing one of section A into section B and then section C, getting in the mix of things, throw a couple of those wobble patterns within each other to sort of get them to know each other a little bit, DJE. So like let them interact a little bit, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because otherwise it's too much like section A. Okay, now you've heard that. Section B. Okay, now that's done. Section C. Okay, that's the song. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Have a lovely day. If you just sign here to confirm your presence while listening to this song, we will have official documentation that you have now enjoyed the song. It sounds like, oh, very official. And yeah, I want a little bit less formality, I guess is what I'm saying. But I think that's pretty much all I have to say about the song. Paitos, welcome back, and thank you for joining. Appreciate that. Call and response, maybe call and response, but maybe just like allowing for not so much call and response, but just allowing for some foreshadowing, I guess, of the pattern that's coming up. Maybe the first time, and then the second time just coming back not as a response so much, but more as like a flashback. A call back rather than a call and response. Just reference each other. Reference the sections into each other. Atatsukis, thank you very much for the follow. Guys, we're at 348 out of 350. We'll be able to set a new goal, I think, by the end of today. I'm pretty sure. Okay. I think, DGE, that'll pretty much do it for me. Your song is pretty well produced. You have a little bit of sub missing from your mix, maybe. The other mixing seems fine. And I think that your arrangement could just complement itself a little bit more. So I don't think that there needs to be anything else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much, DGE, as always, for letting us listen to your track, for allowing us to provide feedback on it, being open to that feedback, as I know you are. Thank you for trusting us with your track. We're moving on down the line, folks. We're keeping it moving. I'm going to go back to studying now, so thanks for the feedback, man. Big love. Thank you, DGE, for submission and for all the time and attention you put into this stream. Always appreciated, always loved, always very nice to see you. Go back to studying now. Ace your tests so you can be big and rich and produce all the music that you want to on your dime because you can afford it because you did well at school. Not telling you how to do things, just saying, had I known that I could have done that, I would have. So you should too. There's some feedback for you. All right, Emitros, you are up, my dude. It is your turn. Yeah, it is your turn to submit a track. Are you still with us, Emitros? Yes, you are. Where you at? Oh no. Emitros! It sounds so Greek. Diekanes Emitros! Akatsukis, thank you very much for leaving the queue and rejoining it, I suppose. Thank you for, you know what? You did you did yourself a service, I suppose. Like you left and joined. Oh, you said something before. Oh shit, hold up. I think I remember seeing a message fly by and I didn't have time to talk about it. Can I go 8th or 9th? Because I got to do something. I'll probably miss my part at 4th. My bad, at Akatsukis. Akatsukis, yeah, right. Akatsukis also sounds Greek, believe it or not. But yes, thank you very much for appreciating, for remembering that you wanted to do that, because I unfortunately did not. But exactly, they said they wouldn't be here when they got picked. That's my bad for not executing on that. But either way, yeah, let's roll down the line. It's lagged. Oh, wow, shit. I don't think it's lagging in my server. My connection's pretty good. Yeah, I have an excellent connection, so either way. But obviously with Akatsukis' reply also so far behind from what I originally said, I am assuming that we do indeed have ourselves a little bit of a delay here, folks. So let's try and remember that, I suppose. All right. Little rubber banding, nothing we can't stretch out. That is true. That is true, General Tips. We are all very much used to the live stream game, I'm assuming by this point, eh? Yeah. All right. Let us keep on moving, folks. Emitros! What's good, my dude? Yeah. A little lag. That's okay. All right, let's read the context of this. I did this piece in a small theater in my city. Everything was recorded with real instruments, and it is one of the pieces that I like the most that I have done. This piece was made with a clear inspiration from games like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and the works of Studio Ghibli. Lucky that the music colleagues who accompanied me on the strings are Zelda fans like my nerdy face. Expected coming from a nerdy 15-year-old like me, boy! All right. And the piano solo starts here. Thank you for your delineation, Emitros. So we're going to listen to this, 2 minutes of it, in fact, and we will get back to the, well, we're going to give you some feedback after that. So here we go. Without any further ado, Emitros and Maxime Plante in Monte. Let's listen. And that's 2 minutes. So let's go through these parts a little bit. Let's talk about the intro section real quick. First of all, I'm asking this just because I need to know, was this also recorded with like a full orchestra, or was this one instrument at a time? My question is, I guess, do you have all these separate instruments recorded one after the other so we can adjust the mix of it all? Or is this kind of like Decca tree and stereo room mics and that's all we get? Technically speaking, I guess, what are we working with here? Yes, and Amivio, it is absolutely very chill. Absolutely, I agree with you. I could see myself falling asleep on the couch with some games, sitting at the menu screen playing this. Very nice composition, super chill and relaxing. Absolutely. It is very, 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 very much that vibe of like intro music waiting for something to happen. Mitrios, I can't hear you over the ad. Oh, shit. Well, shit. We don't have an ad right now, though. There isn't going to be another ad for, like, a long time. Anyways, Mitrios, I guess my question is, do you have access to, like, the multiple recordings of this? Or did you record this like all one orchestra, Decca tree, studio room mics, and that's it? Was this like, do you have the multi-tracks for this? Was this recorded like one instrument after the other kind of thing? Because I know you've done some projects like that and some projects with the full room orchestra. But let's listen to this first section here. I recorded it in one go. Okay. I'll have a comment, but I don't know if we can do much for it. Oh shit! Mims Gaming! What's good with the subscription? I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mims. Very kind of you. And also a fellow streamer as well, Mims Gaming. If you guys like Baldur's Gate, check it out. Mims Gaming is streaming that well, not right now. I don't know necessarily that you're doing that right in this very moment. But I know for a fact that you do that a couple of times a week. So if you guys like to watch some genius level D&D player play Baldur's Gate 3, go check out Mims Gaming. Mims Gaming. That is Mims Gaming. All right. So I have this like sort of musical issue with this first part here in Mitros. Like it's just a okay. So let me just understand this a little bit first here. Oh, G sharp. I think that's what your chords are doing, right? Okay, you're playing on like the sort of circle of fifths-ish kind of thing there. No. That's weird. I would want it to almost, I know that there's nothing we can do about this now because it's already recorded. And I know that. But I would almost want it to go like from the to the F sharp. It would make a little bit more like melodic, cohesive sense to me, I guess. Because you're starting on the na, 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 na. Then your bass does a descending line, I think. it goes for the C sharp to the F. And I think you're going for the minor, the F minor, but like I feel like you should be going for the F sharp major. Feels like it would have more melodic cohesive sense. Da, 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 na, 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 na. That's my own personal opinion, I think. It has just a little bit more sort of natural melodic fluidity. But that's sort of my own thing. And I just like, I know what you're going for. You're going for like a little bit less of that, I guess, in the overall feel of the intro. You're going for like, it's not quite dissonance because there's still some melodic and harmonic resonance there that is pleasant and not necessarily diminished or like not much trichord play, you know, like there's not that crazy amount of tension, but there is still some of this tension that's underlying in the background, and it very, very much contrasts the feel of the rest of your song, which is a lot more relief. Like, I guess, yeah, it's sort of like, I was going for a weird feeling on the final track, like unease at the start of it. Well, that is working. So congratulations, because that is working. I do feel uneasy at the beginning. So if you're going for that, okay, it just doesn't really match the rest of your vibe of your song. It does have a certain binary element of like, this is the uneasy section and this is the rest of the song. And I feel like if without too much referencing of the first section in the rest of the song, which I don't think that there is a lot of, I think we're like kind of mismatching our intro and our the rest of the music. But that's sort of, I guess, how I feel about it. There are some people that may disagree with me on that. So I can't necessarily say anything for that, because that's, I guess, my interpretation, and like this is very interpretive music in and of itself. I say that and I have this thing in front of me, which is, you know, as abstract as art gets, but with some sort of cohesive vision to it. It's like there's a lot of, it makes me think of the Rainbow Bridge from like Thor and that kind of stuff. But yeah. Also, Mims Gaming, thanks for the shout out. I don't know about Genius. Bro, you're like a Forgotten Realms certified expert. Like, don't not take credit where credit is due. That shit's impressive how much you know about the Forgotten Realms. It inspires me. So, you know, take the credit. You're that good. So, well done. Yeah, that's my big comment for the intro. Other than that, texturally, I like the way that it goes from like darker to brighter. That progression I could get behind. It sounds nice in that way. But I just think that the melodic dissonance that you have in the first section kind of is at odds with the melodic resonance that you have with the rest of the song, which is why that one chord change from the F to the F sharp might just take a little bit of that tension away so that it's easier. That darkness is just a little easier to digest. But again, I know it's all recorded. There's nothing much we can do about that except re-record it, which is a pain in the ass. But yeah, my thought, personally. The other problem that I have, and this is, I think, my biggest problem for the song, now, I'm not opposed to tambourine. I'm a lead singer. I understand the benefits. but that's too much tambourine. That's just way too loud in the mix. Now, this is the reason that I asked if there was a way to have all the tracks separately, is like, can we mix that back? because that's loud, bro. That's like something that should be just in the background, and right now it is the loudest element in your entire piece. It's kind of taken away from the vibe. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I suppose. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the only thing, though, that I have to say about the track at this point. I think that was the last thing, I guess, that I have to say. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, well done. Either way, Amitros, it was a lovely piece. People seem to agree that it seems to be like video game menu music. And I think that is a very fair and accurate resumption. It sounds to be a professional caliber. I like the way you introduced bass in this track. I know that we've had that issue with some of your tracks in the past, where your bass was always sort of lacking some energy. I'm glad that it sounds a little bit more full in this track, which is a good thing. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it's off to the right. I would prefer it to be, or I guess for you guys, dead center, right there. That's just a mixing engineer's instinct to have the bass dead center and everything else panned the way it is beautifully in this track. But that's pretty much all I got to say. Imitros, thank you for allowing us to listen to the song. Thank you for letting us decorticate it and give feedback on it. Thank you for being open to the feedback, I am hoping. And thank you for trusting us with your track, as you always do. Thank you, Imitros. More absolute D&D banger music. Okay. Fine. I'll do that. My finger slipped. Yeah. I believe Couch Tracks is up next. If I am not mistaken, it is not the case. I am not mistaken. Couch Tracks, it is your turn. All right. Let's get this chair out of the way. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Thanks for that too, Imitros. Let's get you all buffed and ready for the Olympia afterwards. I don't know what you mean. The Olympics, you mean? Because I ain't going to no Olympics. I ain't that dexterous or strong. Thank you, General Tips. That's a good call. All y'all drink some fucking water. Couch Tracks, where's your track at? Is it chilling on the couch? I didn't like that one either, guys. Just for the record. What is this on this camera? Holy shit. I wonder if this will actually help anything. Why is there a UV filter on this camera? Does that change anything whatsoever? Nothing. I guess it just protects the screen, so I guess we'll leave it, protects the lens, so I guess we'll leave it on. My bad, I forgot your format for a minute. Whoops. Used to already having it posted on Discord. Aha! You see. That is the format here, which I believe is more simple, personally. Less platforms to deal with. But that's my own belief. You know what? I think that I'll try to make another genre of music out of the orchestral spectrum. That's something ballsy, dude, because you do orchestral really well. But I believe with your mentality, with your mind for composition, you could make a lot of different genres really in an original fashion. With a sort of an orchestral mindset of composition and placement and arrangement really is the word that I'm thinking. With your mindset, I believe that we could really hear something original from you, man. So I would like to hear that, Amitros. Please, by all means, keep us posted as to that, because we need to hear it. Thank you very much. I dig your setup. Thank you very much, Couch Tracks. We have a bit of a setup here. We have our guitars in the back. We have our... I'm going to show off now because I set this all up. We have our drums as well. And yeah, we have our cam with our drums. We also have our cam with our keys and just our keys in general. So we have the tools we need. I mean your stream set your stream setup and cue and stuff and all that's nice too. Yeah, I guess so. Thank you very much. Those cymbals are dope. Thank you for the compliment, Couch Tracks and General Tips. I appreciate that. The cymbals are dope. They're pretty cool. They're pretty great. They're low noise too, but they sound all right even when they're mic'd up. They sound pretty good for what they are, which is low noise cymbals that are playable in an apartment without necessarily bothering the neighbors. All right, I'm gonna get this set up as well at the same time while we're talking about it. Those are crisp. Thank you. They are pretty crisp cymbals. They actually kind of hurt my ears if I play them like without ear protection. They're very, very high end. Anyways, folks, we got Couch Tracks here with this song, Finishing Move. Finish him. We will listen to this track and comment on what we think needs to be fixed or what we just like about it. You could just also just say, like, you know, what's up? I like this about this. Either way, let us together listen to the track and then we'll talk about it. Without further ado, Couch Tracks' track, Finishing Move.
That's a fatality. Bust it. Give it to. Fatality.
That's how that ends? Okay. Okay, I have my notes. I love the glitch. This is what General Tips is saying. I love the glitch dub sound, but the intro was like ODing to get an adrenaline shot. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I agree. I agree with you. I actually totally agree with you. I will get to that. I tried to make it hokey so the contrast was large. The contrast was large, the intro that is. No, that's not how that ends. What did SoundCloud do to it? That's a wonderful question. Akatsuki! Oh, you left and joined again, eh? Well, no one. I don't think anyone joined since you left the last time, Akatsuki. So, but yeah, we'll see you. We'll have time to see you. That's crazy. SoundCloud made it 153. The track is actually 225 long. That's weird. That shouldn't be happening. But that is kind of weird. It's kind of glitchy. Either way, I would have only listened to 2 minutes of it. But yeah. Okay. Coach Trucks, are you getting an ad right now as well? Because I'm not going to do your review if you're getting an ad. I uploaded the SoundCloud one for your stream. Oh, well, that's weird. No ad this second. Okay, good. Good to know. It's Red Fox. Thank you very much for joining the queue. Appreciate that. Very nice of you to be back. All right. I got some comments here, Couch Tracks. First of all, I'm going to go with general tips on this one. There was too much too soon. That's my first, second, and third comment. Everything comes in a way that is way too aggressive. I feel like there needs to be, it's okay to start aggressively, but there needs to be some form of motion, because otherwise, by the time you get to your drop, there's no real expansion. If your energy starts this big, by the time you get to your drop and it's this big, the contrast doesn't really do anything to our emotions. So we need a little bit less intensity in this early section, because otherwise your drop is superfluous. Let's go through it here. So it is in time. I just counted the bars, and it is in time. Technically, it does respect like an 8-bar pattern, but it's super weird, dude. It's super weird, and it's not like hokey in the traditional way that things are hokey. This is weird key. This is weird hokey. Hokey weird. Weird key. I like weird key. Feel that I make tunes often thinking about in one of my sets. During my sets, I cut out intros of my own tracks so often. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, providing the convenience with the intro is better to give a shape to the song than to just jump into this and go like, oh, okay, we're in it. And again, it doesn't give the contrast, which is very important in music, in songwriting in general. You need the contrast between the soft and the hard for the hard to actually make any sense. And I understand you're mixing for live, but like I'm just saying, like on a song level. So, speaking of lack of contrast, it's funny that I would say that because the rest of your song is all contrast. There's not one repeating section that I could track. Maybe the drop if it repeats, but like there should be some sections that are like readily identifiable to us because we've heard them before. And I don't think that that's happening much in this track. As a matter of fact, let's go just to the drop.
That's a fatality. Bust it. Give it to.
So all of your instruments are playing things that are the instruments are the repeating things basically, but my bass line has the familiarity. Not enough. That's my comment. Really, is like we don't have enough familiarity. The bass line itself, just the texture, is not enough. We need melodies to tell a story. And if your story is, once there was this that happened, then 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 there was this that happened, and they're all different things, and there's no shared sort of, there's no like actual, like this element ties in with this element, that element ties in with that element, sort of like a story that is cohesive, I guess, then you might as well not tell the story. Because it's like not trackable, and it's like I think most people when they're listening to music, even bass music, do enjoy repeating segments. I don't think that utter chaos is anything fun for anybody. And there's not really any concepts that repeat in this particular drop. So I would recommend bringing a couple of these elements and maybe repeating some riffs. That would be my thing. I see what you mean. The funk part could be after my intro as well to tie it together. That's an idea. That's an idea. Let's go back to that funk part. It's an idea, but it's a bit lazy of an idea, honestly. I would say write a song, like write your full song, not just copy pasting necessarily. It's like, I would say arrange the song in a way that is like cohesive. So like maybe your funk part could appear before your drop, but it's appearing after it. So now you're just going to repeat segments in a very generic way, which I'm not a huge fan of. What I mean is more individual riffs. So like, let's say I'll take an example. The way that the bass goes, whoa, that pattern, that could be in the first pattern of your drop. Like repeat in and of itself riffs, not so much sections. Yes, sections that are repeating help. They do help. But repeating riffs are sometimes all you need to do. And so that way you don't necessarily need to repeat full sections at a time. That's, I guess, more what I mean, rather than just taking a section and throwing it before the intro and hoping that it's readily identifiable. Well, first of all, the reason that that's a bad idea is because you have one section dividing two sections that will be identical, and that's too much repetition. So that's like, it's basically A, B, drop, B. And it's like, you could do a better thing than just that. Call and response technique is a good way of accomplishing that. Exactly, Red Fox. But like responding necessarily with two sections that are separated only by a drop, not my favorite way of going about that. Where I have plenty of room to mix it up, I'll work it out. This is what I'm saying. It's like I'm having trouble finding how many ideas you can implement into this because there are so fucking many. Weird anti-drop. I think that's what I meant by this. Yeah, so this section is kind of weird. You know what you have to do, Couch Tracks? This section has to be before your intro. Before this part here, insert a copy paste of this section right here. It even has the slowdown already, just there for you. It's ready to go. It's like, here you go. Here's a silver platter with your service and with your dome on top of it. Would you like fries with that? It's amazing. It's ready to go. Copy, paste. Arrangement of the song is so much better like that. But I would still recommend a couple of repeating sections throughout these areas. Yep. But that'll feel better. That'll feel better for sure. Let's go to this last drop here.
That's a fatality.
I actually like that section a little bit better, even though it's cut off. Obviously, that sucks. But I actually like that section a little bit better because it has more of like a it's like feeling like there's going to be a concept. So I like that section a little bit better. And yeah, throw your this weird anti-drop as your intro and your song will have far more flow. And then just make sure to repeat a couple of riffs within the drop. Make them tell the story, dude. And stories are accomplished not only by creating new, exciting things, but by calling to familiar elements that we ourselves have set up in our own story. That's true for music. Jesus. That's true for music. That's true for screenplays. That's true for novels. It's true for storytelling. You have to create familiarity within the novelty in order for the context to actually achieve the effect of, wow, that's cool. Songwriting is no different. It is no exception. So either way, Couch Tracks, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about your track. Thank you very much for allowing us to listen to it on the air, for giving feedback on it, for being open to feedback as well. Always just easier to do my job that way. So thank you, as always, Couch Tracks, for trusting us with your track. This particular couch track, I suppose. So thanks for that. We will be moving right on down the line. You are saying, great idea, definitely flow better. Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Mike, and thanks everyone else for the tips and suggestions. Well, I believe that everyone enjoys getting some good tips. Not just the tip, but sometimes just the tip is necessary. Speaking of tips, general tips, it's your turn. And I hated that segue as much as you did. Believe it or not. You know what was a useless thing to do? Was to stream on YouTube today. Because YouTube has, so far, 4 people have seen it. 4 people have seen this. And I don't think that it's adding anything to this equation. Oh well. Live and learn, I suppose. Oh, let's pop out the chat so that I don't have to have it in the same window. Yeah, very nice. Oh, never mind. Totally. All right. Okie dokie. So, tips. We got the artist known as Tips here. Speaking of tips, take a second here. Speaking of tips, if you guys are enjoying what you're hearing, if you guys are liking what you are hearing, as you see on this setup, there is some lag. I'm using an excellent camera, I'm using excellent mic, excellent audio interfaces, mixers, all of the rest of the gear is great. But my computer is not the best. And so I have started the Mike's Mac is about to give out fund right here in the bottom right corner of your screen. And you can see that the fund is slow, but it is advancing. And in order for this stream to succeed, there needs to be a better computer at hand here. So if y'all enjoy what you're seeing and want to support the stream, easy way of doing that. Subscribing is another easy way of doing that. So thank you all for your support thus far, and I can only appreciate any future support that you guys may give. All right, that cheesy part of the podcast or of the stream is over. Let's get back to the fun part where we talk about tips, but the artist. And the song Monster, which is a Karuk remix. Don't know who Karuk is. This art is fucked up. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. Really good art there, Tips. Okay, folks, let's get on with it. Let us listen to this track and let us see what we think by the end of it.
Maybe I'm just an alien falling to earth. I try to fit in, but there's so much to learn. I'm so scared for the day they're all gonna know what I am. Maybe I'm just
No. Okay. I have a few words here, tips. Got some thoughts on this. My idea of the mix is not, or rather my thoughts on the mix is that it's not ideal. It needs a little bit of more, I want to say, unity. Because things seem a little bit to be jumping out from nowhere a lot. And it's okay sometimes, but it seems to be the status quo. It should be more the exception rather than the rule. It's my first thought. There's this weird vocal volume effect that's happening in the intro.
Maybe I'm just an alien falling to earth. I try to fit in, but there's so much to learn. I'm so scared for the day they're all gonna know what I am.
And that's, I guess, what I mean is like, this is exceedingly low volume.
Try to fit in, but there's so much to learn.
This is hovering anywhere from minus 15 to minus 20 dB on my meters. That's relatively low for an intro, considering that the track itself, when it kicks, it's going around what, minus 3, minus 2,
So scared.
minus 2. We have a little bit of contrast issues so far. That's probable. I've been struggling with my sound levels. I would say it's something worth examining, something worth exploring, ameliorating. Basically, get gooder. Respectfully.
Maybe I'm just an alien.
Okay, so far in this section, I don't really have any problems with it because we have some repeating things that are going on. We are calling back to some elements that we have already heard, and we are introducing new elements as well. The drum and bass vibe is evident as well in this section. And the sucking out of the treble to create like space and to create tension is a good tip. My concern is when it does come back, it's kind of not in a pleasant way. You know, I could have used another repeat of this drum and bass section before we drop into the halftime, personally. I think it changes a little bit quickly. I think we need a little bit more grounding in this zone before we change everything drastically. Fucking nuking the entire building before we've even gotten to the top floor is what I think I come back to on this particular example. It's like maybe we could reinforce some concepts before we nuke them. And then we come back relatively quickly once again. I haven't really gotten the chance to like wet my beak on this one, and we're already back to the drum and bass section, but now almost like a hybrid drum and bass and dubstep version section here. So we were taking a couple of the elements of here, and we're taking a couple of elements of this part, and we're throwing them together. Okay, the initiative is good. The initiative is good. The instinct is there. I like that. The execution, I guess this is an A for effort, F for results kind of thing. Not even F for results, more of like a D, I would say. Like, you have the idea of combining the two elements, but I think that the two elements themselves, you haven't even defined what they are yet. So, yeah, expand a little bit. Expand on your track, I think would be my first piece of advice for this. Second, I guess, because the weird vocal volume at the beginning and the offsetting of levels is kind of a problem as well. The other thing, DJ Slat, Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream for the first time. Appreciate you there. So the thing that I want to say here is there are also transitions that can exist in this track that'll allow for these sections to blend into one another a little bit more smoothly. I think you're going to have to explore those transitions because right now the delineation between sections is so evident, it is jarring, and I think that you could very well build one section into the other using risers, using just basic transition effects, even using volume automations for certain elements a little bit to your advantage. But either way, I think you need to develop your sections a little bit more within the song itself before you can transition effectively between sections. I don't think I have much to say about your last drop. So you have those volume dropouts that are super epic, but they feel unearned. This is why I'm saying like you need to develop your sections a little more. Those are all great ideas, but they just feel like too much too soon. And you're doing too much without necessarily earning those dropouts. Because it's all so staccato and so back and forth between sections that like we haven't gotten the chance to settle. It's all tension. There's no release. And the moments where you do like release the bass or release the vocals or drop a few vocal samples in there to create some elements of contrast, it doesn't have the effect that we're looking for because it's all contrast. It's all tension. So build some release, build some sections, build a little bit more steadiness in your track. And I promise you that the jumps and the jarring effects that you do have in there now, even with transitions inserted, will still have that effect. And you'll just have a more complete song for it. And I think that that's pretty much all I want to say for your song here, Tips, because other than that, your ideas are quite wonderful. They're quite original. And I think that you have a lot of weird shit, which is great. We like weird shit, but we have to make weird shit digestible for more people than just the people who like weird shit. We have to make normies like weird shit. And there's a way to do that. You're halfway there. You're going to get there. Either way, I have faith. So thank you very much, General Tips, for submitting the track, for allowing us to listen to it on the stream, for allowing us to provide feedback on it, for being open to that feedback. Hopefully, we can hear you come back with the changes made with a more elongated or lengthened song with more complete sections and more coherent transitions. I'm looking forward to hearing the developed version of this song because, again, it's weird enough for me to go like, ooh, this could be interesting. I want to hear. So come back. That's all you got to do. Come back and show me a more complete song. And if it's over 3 minutes, subscribe so we can listen to the whole thing. Thank you very much, General Tips, for trusting us with your track. We're moving on down the line, folks. Just to respond to DJ Slat, yes, we are absolutely doing music reviews, my dude. So thank you for the follow. And also, if you want to join the queue, command join. And it's as simple as that. Because then you're on the list. And then we will get to you. Well, eventually, once we've done everyone else. Now, if you want to skip the queue, like everyone else, there's the skip function for 750 bits, which, if you're subscribed, will also allow you to skip ahead of just the followers. Just saying. But if you are the top gifter of the stream, as long as you hold that title, you skip your turn, period. So far, Just Some Skills is the only one who's figured that one out. There's not many subs to gifts right now because I think it's only 3. But if you just don't feel like waiting your turn, essentially, if you just don't have the time, but you need your track reviewed, there's always options. I provide the options. It's up to you guys to take it. Alex Starbeats is not in the chat, so we're going to go ahead and skip. Antacto Music! I like that name. I used to go to high school with the dude who had a similar last name to Antacto. And I always thought that that was a cool sounding last name. Either way. Is Intacto not here either? Oh, you are here. Bit of a delay, I suppose. All right. Thank you for the track, Intacto. I got the... oh, it's cool. Restream tells me what time the message was sent to, so I could see that. So I can see exactly what time you guys actually sent the message. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Bit of a delay. Okie dokie, folkies. We have Intacto here. Intacto, who is a returning viewer, returning submitter. We are going to listen to this track by himself called Run From Yourself. Early work in progress. Let's give it a listen. Okay, wow. All in, all at once. Cool. Very, very nice. Oh no. The emotes are not animating in the Restream chat. That's gonna be a problem because I like my animated emotes. I like my animated emotes to show in my fucking stream, so we're gonna have to fix that somehow. Okay, so I do have a couple of notes. They're not that many because we don't have much to go off of here, Intacto, so there's not that much that I can say. What I can say is this. In your intro, you need more dynamics. You need a difference of some kind, whether it be percussive or whether it be melodic. My recommendation is that it be like some sort of synth that comes in and that allows us to feel like the track is breathing a little bit more. That would be my first recommendation, my first instinct, I guess, to tell you. So like what I mean is here, we might need something a little bit more like a layer. Essentially, just we need more layers. I would say that it should come in around the first repeat, personally. Around the second repeat, rather. Right there, after like 6 seconds. Yeah, latest, actually. I don't know necessarily what, but I have some ideas. If you'll bear with me, I'm just going to do some melodic like stuff, just to give you the example. And you do what you will with that. But yeah. Wow, that's really loud. Let's just do this. That's not loud enough, Mitch. Let's try this. Let's see what it is. Like that, it's not in time, it's not the right texture, it's not the right sound for your song, but like melodic plays like that where it's sustained because you have so much because there's so much of that. It's unfortunate, but we don't have really more room for any like rhythmic additions personally, in my opinion. So I think we're gonna need more sustained. that kind of stuff playing around with your build, and it should be ever not expanding, but like getting more and more present the more and more the song advances. So be my first piece of advice for your song. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to say about that intro. Alex Starbies, damn, I just missed my turn. You did indeed, my friend. You did indeed. But if you subscribe, I'll let you back in place right after this particular thing. So, I'm sorry I was AFK for a bit. You were out of the chat as well, so that's why I kind of assumed like you were gone for the day. But yeah, if you subscribe, I'll let you back in place right after Intacto's beat. Just saying. Just saying. The master. I have a bit of an issue with the master, and it's specifically reflective between the sections, the intro and the drop. Let me just listen back to see what it is. Yeah, it should be a little more dynamic. I think that's really what's happening here. Yeah, so what's happening is it's getting crushed a little bit. It's getting crushed a little bit on the like input side of things on your master limiter, if I'm not mistaken. What I'd probably suggest is easing up on either one or many of the compressors on your master channel, because there's two things that's happening right now. This sounds nice and crisp and nice and loud. This sounds less loud in volume, in perceived volume. Like, when I go here, so the perceived volume, I think my meter is reading -20 perceived volume as of this section, which is not true, but it's just an indication. And this section, it's at -15. So there should be a bit of a jump in the bass frequency specifically that will at least feel louder, if not be louder in perceived volume and in the actual like metered volume. But right now I'm just losing some of the dynamics of this section. So you're going to probably need to work your master. Here, no mix and master, early work in progress. Yeah, but it sounds like it should be still more dynamic than this. So I think you're going to want to probably either turn up your drums or do something to boost the volume of this particular section, because it should be more dynamic if it's not mastered. Just saying. Yeah, the last comment that I have for your track, that. So that's a really good sounding synth. We're not gonna lie to you. It sounds really nice. It sounds nice and juicy. It sounds wobbly. It sounds great. I'm happy with that. But it's too loud. It's too loud compared to the rest of the song. It should come out of the mix a little bit, not that much. But again, you said no mix and master, early work in progress, so it's something to consider. The other thing that I have to say is that, again, similarly to your intro, very little variation. Now again, this is only 1 minute. So this much variation in a minute is not the worst thing in the world. But I would personally add in a little more elements of interest, similar to what I was suggesting for your intro, but in a more subtle way with a very light hand, adding in those kind of interesting elements in this section scattered throughout. That would be my personal approach. Whether you choose to do it or not is your call. But I would say what we're doing to the intro with the little elements here and there, do it to the rest of your song as well. Subtler, I suppose. But that's pretty much all I have to say about your track, Intacto. Like, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Chakra DN Bro. Shakraden Bro, I guess is how that's pronounced. Shakraden Bro. I suppose. And Alice D&B, thank you very much for joining us, Alice. Welcome to the stream. Interesting fact, all synth and main bass sounds, same preset, but with different effects. I don't necessarily think that that's the best thing. But if you make it work, you make it work. So who gives a fuck at that point? You know what I mean? But that's pretty much all I need to say for your track, though, Antacto. Thank you for allowing us to listen to it and providing feedback on it. Hoping that the feedback is helpful for you and that you could and that you're open to it. But thanks for trusting us with your track, regardless. Let us move on to the next person in line. Shakraden, bro. You have a new work in progress if you'd like to listen. Well, if you'd like for us to listen, you could join the queue by pressing Command Join in the chat. And then, once it's your turn, we will get to you and you will call on you to submit your link in the chat. But don't do that yet, because we got a couple of people before you. Namely, our next person in line, which is Pytos Beats. Pytos, I don't know. I'm really unsure, genuinely. So yeah. Let's just make sure that we... Also, Alex Starbeats, if you want to join the queue back, nothing stops you from doing that. Nothing precludes you from doing that. But you should know that I will be closing the queue very soon, because we will be ending the stream after this. Basically, this lineup is done. Just to give you guys the heads up, for anybody who wants to submit. Oh, Pydos with the submission. Thank you very much. I was about to chat you out. I was about to call you out in the chat, like, bitch, where you at? But thank you for submitting. For anybody else who wants to join the queue, be it known that we will be closing the queue very soon. Probably by the time we listen to Pytos' beat. Pytos, I'm gonna need a SoundCloud link. Yes, my stream is lagging because you submitted a YouTube link and it kind of slowed down my entire computer. Also, I don't do YouTube links because YouTube blocks me. Because SoundCloud, not SoundCloud, but Twitch itself mutes my audio, and then when I reshare onto YouTube as my VODs, it gets muted. So I can't do YouTube, Pytos. So we're gonna have to do SoundCloud, because YouTube is a dick like that. Unfortunately, that combined with the ads, there's a lot of reasons why I'm not gonna be doing YouTube today, unfortunately. But yes, the stream is lagging a little bit. It depends where you are geographically as well, because some people are reporting a lot less lag on their end, and yeah, are saying that it's pretty quick actually, and I'm getting responses from them text-wise pretty quickly. But it just depends on the thing. Pytos, I can wait 1 minute. But I'm going to do someone else's song in that case. So go ahead and upload your shit to SoundCloud. We're going to put you as next on the queue, meaning that right now, it's Magic Ninja Beats' turn, is what I'm seeing here. Right? Yep. Magic Ninja Beats, where are you at? What's up, dude? I haven't heard your song in a while. Are you with us right now? You're not. Guys, I understand if you got to go. I understand that. I'm the first one to understand that. Just leave the chat, leave the queue, because it gives me an idea of like, oh, well, couldn't get around to it this time. So next time, no worries. In that case, but because Magic Ninja is a subscriber, we are going to put him next. The one chance policy, as I like to say. So Pydos, you're up. It's your turn again. That's funny. Whoops, that's not how you spell that. That is funny, isn't it, Pydos? It's fucking hilarious that the way that works out. Because we were destined to wait. All right, so what do we got here? Saito and Ash and Samra type beat, Lictor 2023, produced by Pytos. Am I pronouncing that right, Pytos? Is it Pytos or is it Pitos? Pitos, I suppose, would be with a Y, but I feel like it's Pytos. Like pie toes. I like feedback for mix. Okay, well, let's do that then. Let us listen to your mix and provide some feedback. Shall we? All right. Without further ado, Pytos, and this track that I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce the title once again. Let's listen to 2 minutes of this track. That's 2 minutes. Okay, I remember this beat, Pytos. I believe that you've submitted this beat before, if I'm not mistaken. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This was arranged differently the last time that you submitted it. It feels much cleaner now. We will talk about the mix. But I'm pretty sure you've submitted this track before, because my memory usually doesn't fail me. When I've heard a song before, it rings a bell. And this one, I remember that melody. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum. It's in B. That's good. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you've submitted this one before. I don't have a problem necessarily with the mix in and of itself. I think it's actually pretty well mixed. I think its arrangement is since the last time I've heard it, I'm pretty sure that the arrangement has changed because it just feels like it flows better. The sections make more sense to me now. The only thing that I will say is that the bass line itself is present in a lot of different parts in the song. So the bass line itself is well mixed enough. It's certainly present and vibraty and nice and juicy and nice and thick. Your kick is coming out of the mix as well pretty nicely. Your snares are pretty much all very, very clear. So obviously there's going to be vocals that are going on top of this track. So what I will say is this: you have to be careful because the last time you submitted this, I believe that my problem was the arrangement itself was a little bit repetitive and didn't really do itself any favors. Sounds like you fixed that. Those vocals in the background, okay, those airy vocals that you have pretty much in the entire song, you may find, depending on what kind of rapper or singer goes on top of this beat, that they interact with one another. So just be aware of that. It's well mixed right now as it is, but it's hard to tell if that's perfect or not without the vocals pretty much in the track and recorded and mixed. So what I'll say to you is, for now, good job, but be aware. Be aware because those exact samples, that the piano as well, those kind of things will possibly, less the piano and more the other vocal samples that you've put in the background, those things will unintentionally sort of suppress a little bit of our main vocals. So just be aware of that. Something just to consider. Other than that, I don't really think I have any problems with this, man. It sounds really well mixed. So yeah, the only thing that I would say is that this section, this is like your big section, kind of like your chorus. You have another one over here, I think. Here. Yeah, so they're identical. So I personally am not a fan of that. I personally think that sometimes we should be able to not notice, but then only when we're listening intently notice subtle changes and subtle things that change between those two sections. So the vocal is obviously going to contribute to that a lot. But, you know, when I'm hearing that section, personally, this is, again, my brain, the way it works, and I am only noticing the things that I am used to noticing kind of thing, but little things like that. Little things like that, just they add a freshness. They add a freshness to the actual song itself that you can't copy paste, unfortunately. You kind of have to think of adding in those little things. Send me these stems, haha! Well, we can work together off stream if you want, Paitos. I am a musician for hire, that is for sure. But we can work together if you wish. We can talk on Discord if you wish, but we can definitely think of things like that together. If you have tracks that you need stems for, we can talk about it. That's something we can talk about. But those little accents, you know, like... Little You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to just keep your track fresh. That's really what the spirit of all of this is that even if you do repeat sections, we want to hear a story told to us. And sometimes we only need to have the story told to us musically, and sometimes we need lyrics. In this case, we're going to need lyrics. But that doesn't mean we will want the story from the musical side any less. Just because there's vocals, we might still want, if you have a good enough idea that doesn't interfere with the vocal story, we should try some shit out like that. So that would be my recommendation for you. Either way, Pydos, great track. Thank you for allowing us to listen to it online. Thank you for letting us speak about it and give you some feedback on that. Thanks, I guess, for trusting us with your track, as we always like to say here in this chat. In this stream, I should say. I am a streamer, after all. Thank you, as always, Pydos. It is always a pleasure to see you and to listen to one of your tracks. We are going to move on down the line, and we are going to continue with Magic Ninja Beats. Magic Ninja Beats, are you not here? Did Magic Ninja Beats just subscribe and then peace? What a Giga Chad. What a Giga Chad move that would have been. He's not with us, man. He is not with us. Well, shit. We're going to have to move on. Unfortunately, we have already allowed for his one not here, but preserve thing for the sub. You know, he's just not here, so we're going to just keep moving on, folks. I am now also going to close the queue. So we are going to now move on next. Anybody who is in the stream right now, who is watching the stream, but who has not already submitted their name for consideration, has literally 45 seconds before which I will close this chat. This queue, rather, not this chat. The chat's closed. The chat's canceled. We got I keep fucking up your name, and I'm really sorry about that. Akatsuki Leader 9, who has submitted their track under the name Hyper, but still. So what we will do now is we will listen to this track, and then we will listen. Magic Ninja Beats, god damn it! we just god damn it, we literally just skipped over it twice, mind you, twice, but here, okay, here's what I'm gonna do, Magic Ninja Beats. All right, I'm gonna add you back in. Okay. Oh, fuck's sake. Hold on. There. It's done. But you're going to be at the end of the queue because I've skipped over your name twice now. So I already tried to give you your time in the spotlight twice is what I mean. But you're back in either way. No worries. But we're still going to be doing this one here. This one here first, which is Hyper, which is going to be Akatsuki. Akatsuki. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I said, okay, almost. Also, if it's an ear rape track, just let me know. It's open. We're open to that. But if we're gonna be ear raping people who are wearing headphones, just let's let them know in for the future. Thank you very much. Either way, let us listen to your track and a possible ear rape warning, which does not, does not necessarily bode well. So here we go. Akatsuki. No. Okay. Come back to this track here. I guess I have a question first. What did you expect me to get from this? Like, what instruments did you want me to focus on, I guess is my first question. Not necessarily what did you expect me to get out of this. There is an emotion that I could feel from this. I see people enjoying this for many different reasons. So let's clarify that's not what I meant. What I meant is, what instrument did you want me to, recognize in this? Are there any? Or was the goal of this for me to not recognize any instruments except for the drums? Because that and the low bass that stays on the same note the entire time is pretty much all I recognized. So I don't necessarily know that there's any lead elements. I think that the only lead element that I can possibly say for this track is distortion. It's not an insult, but I shouldn't be saying that and having to explain that I'm not being insulting. This is like... I don't hear anything. Oh my god, I thought it was overall review. I just did the rapping. But I didn't hear any words. I just heard what's that clip of I'll find it later. But I didn't hear anything. So I don't know what you're saying. I think I heard the word take. I think that's all I understood. Take it. it's not that I don't want to comment on your track. It's that, like, I don't know how, because there's so much distortion on everything. More clips than World War II? That was famously a very ammunition-heavy war. Absolutely. No, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to think of what to say, but, like, I don't know what to say because I can't recognize anything. And if you just did the rapping, who mixed this? Like, who... Someone in the chat, please tell me. I don't listen to this music on a regular basis, so I might not be a valid critic of this song. I might not be someone who is informed enough to know whether or not this is good or not. But is this too much clipping for this genre? Is there anybody in the chat right now that listens to this genre on a regular basis? And if that's the case, please weigh in here. Tell me, is this too much clipping, or is this the way people think this genre should sound? And I did pick those words very particularly. But like someone who listens, okay, general tips. I can't tell if it's good or bad or anything because the clipping just meshes the song into audio hell. Well, that's what, yeah, like, I don't know, Akatsuki. I don't know what to tell you here, man. Like, I don't know who mixed this track and who added so much distortion on top of everything, including your vocals. But they have done you and their own track a disservice. I cannot hear anything. I'm really sorry, man. I can hear gargled vocals. Yeah, man. I'm really sorry, Akatsuki. I'm just not hearing anything except for distortion. And again, I might be the wrong person to tell you to say this because I don't produce this music. I don't listen to this music on a day-to-day basis. I'll listen to trap when someone sends me a good enough song, and I'll enjoy it. I enjoy all music, but it's got to be good. This is unintelligible, mix-wise. You might have done some great things rap-wise, but like I need lyrics to understand. Guaranteed. There's no other way I'm understanding this. So unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, Akatsuki. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that this one is sort of not reviewable yet. Remove some distortion would be my, I guess, the only comment that I have, because the only comment that is applicable to me. Every other piece of advice, got you, fuck, almost escaped me twice, but I got that bitch. Every other piece of advice that I could say about this song falls short when considering the biggest problem of this track, which is there's too much distortion. I can't hear anything. I'm really sorry, dude. Thank you nonetheless for allowing us to listen to it and trusting us with your track either way. But I think you're going to need to get this song heavily remixed. Sorry, my dude. I even tried it on my phone, but still can't make anything out. That is unsurprising. As a matter of fact, the phone itself, having less subwoofers, might actually, although it does have more high mids, so technically you could very well discern some more of the vocals. But if anything, it gives less cohesion to the actual song, because not the only real thing that's holding this together glue-wise is your bass, is your like big bass, and that is not audible on smaller speakers. So there's probably even less musical cohesion on a smaller speaker. That's unfortunate. I'm not happy about that. I'm just like, unfortunately, I wish I could review this song. Hey, Red Fox. Red Fox. It's Red Fox. Uh-oh, new chatter. Hey, I'm watching a short while now. You seem to review a wide range of music genres. I do that. Except of this track. Where can I send you mine? Otsmo, first of all, thank you very much for following. Our queue is closed for the day, so we will not be taking any more submissions, unfortunately. But if you've been watching for a while, you should know that, because I said it a couple of times. I said it a couple of times that I'll be closing the queue. Just saying. I kind of said. But no, it doesn't matter either way. I would love to listen to your music, and that is unfortunately no longer taking submissions. That said, damn, I just got in. That is... Oh, shit! Red Fox with the follow. And that hits our goal. Thank you very much to everyone who submitted, who followed in the past month. This has been a big month for follows. We are going to, we'd like to say a big thank you to everyone for that particular thing. So that's very kind. Unfortunately, there Ben Simon Music and Otsmo, yes, it will have to be on the next stream, where we will celebrate having 350 viewers by starting with yours, should you come first. If you come first into the stream, I guarantee you I'll listen to yours first. That's sort of how that works. We're going to check your music out at Mike. I'm going to do a little self-promo in my Discord. So if you command Discord and join the community tips, you could definitely see I'm going to submit Discord for my former band. And that gives you an idea of how I write music even now. That's the way it's going to go. All right, so I have Red Fox here, all queued up, ready to go. We are going to listen to... first thing we're going to do, though, I like to do this on the stream. What do you mean 349? Oh, someone unfollowed. So we're going to have to hit that goal again first before I end the goal. Someone unfollowed in the time that I was talking about the follows. That's unfortunate. Well, then we're just going to move on to Red Fox's track, Ease My What? We're going to listen to 2 minutes of this one as we do, and then we will move on. That's 2 minutes. So I have a question. I am going to get into the second drop a tiny bit because I need to know if this song just loops on like a copy-paste level or if this drop is unique. So I will exceptionally listen to just a couple of parts of this drop just to see if it is unique from the first drop. Because if it's copy-pasted, you have just copy-pasted your song twice in a row. Just release one drop at that point. Just make it a one drop stop. Okay, so it's unique. Okay, fair enough. Not that unique, though. It is slightly different, but I recommend making this build and this drop far more unique in their own ways. Because that is... this build, rather, and this drop more unique. We're going to need a little more distinction. But okay, it's a work in progress. You acknowledge that. That's cool. We can continue on. Either way, that's my that was my last comment that I wrote down because I was like very curious about it, but at least we talked about that already. Okay, so first comment that I have. The beginning. This ARP, this like downward ARP, is plucking at my throat. I have no other way of saying that. There's like either too much high end or too much high mid. There is something that is making my throat flick, like something's flicking my throat audio-wise. I don't know how you did that, but it's not pleasant. So stop it. Stop attacking my throat, Red Fox. Oof, phrasing on that was not super duper. My girlfriend's probably going to have words for me after that one. So, yeah, it's just weird. There's this frequency that's plucky, in that plucky synth that is like flicking at my ears and like specifically I'm feeling vibration in my throat. I can't describe it any other way than that. You're going to need to notch that frequency out a little bit because it is quite unpleasant and quite harsh. That's the only thing I had to say about that. And we even feel that vibration even in this section when everything else is super loud and it's supposed to be like overshadowing that synth a little bit. So it's cutting through the mix in such an extreme way that even during your super intense build, I'm still getting like, so yeah, we're going to have to fix that for sure. The drop. Your main string, sort of epic, like brassy string synth has too much high end. It's harsh, it is piercing on my ears. It doesn't need to be that bright. You have hi-hats to fill that sparkle in. You could just very well low pass a little bit of that, or at least low shelf. At the very least, low shelf by like 5 dB. Because like, as of 8,000 hertz, 8 kilohertz, on, it is just way too loud. So that would be something that I would fix because it is really, really, it hurts a little bit. And I have tinnitus. That exacerbates it. Not a great thing. The other thing in the drop is your wubs and subs could very well be louder. Let me show you what I mean. That's it. The very few times that they do appear, they should be like blowing my mind. How can we do this? Obviously turning it up, obviously accentuating some of the high mids in that particular synth, not the others, just that one. Turning other elements down as well, which you kind of do. But you still have hi-hats that are hi-hat patterns that are going there. That's okay. That's not a bad thing. But I would recommend strongly boosting those effects, especially the low mids of those wubs. You could really give them more energy, man. And high mids too, to give them more presence. And the other thing is that your subs, I think think in general you need a little more low mids in your mix, actually. In low mids regions, you have your kick, you have your snare that are providing some of that, but in your sub level, in your bass level, there's a very big delineation between the bass and the high mids. But those mids and low mids are only being filled by that that big synth, and that synth in and of itself doesn't have very many low mids. So I would recommend probably layering your sub with an octave up with some distortion and heavy compression on it so that you can at least simulate that space is being filled. So yeah, that would be how I would fix that. Yep, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. We're gonna need development in this drop as well. So we're gonna need a story told to us. Right now there is the same loop that's being repeated. At some point or another, remove elements from early on in the drop, or add some more musical or thematic elements towards the end of it. Because we're looking for a story to be told to us. We're not looking for a short story to be repeated to us. So this is more of this is a short story in and of itself. We don't want the same verse over and over fed to us, especially if we're going to be repeating it again, or at least repeating elements that are very, very comparable to it. Tell a better story, I think. So adding a couple of elements, adding some less aggressive elements, ambience in the background as well. Always a way of going about that, Red Fox. So yeah, that's something that I would recommend probably doing. Other than that, I'm not a fan of this full dropout. I'll be very honest with you. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that transition. Not a fan of the full dropout. That could be executed better, I think, personally. Because what we have here is essentially us saying, okay, the song's over now. Gotcha. I want you to do that in a more clever way than literally, gotcha. I want it to be more like there's a transition. There's maybe a reversed vocal. That's building it in or something like that. Something to transition between the end of part 1 and the beginning of part 2. We need a better transition than that. Risers, always a good idea. ARPs, what are those, Lex Luthor riser? It's an idea. It's just a way of accomplishing something that you need. Hands down, you need it. So yeah. I think that is it. Yeah, that and the song looping, which is something that you're already aware of. Yeah, that's it, man. That's pretty much all I have to say about your song. Thank you for allowing us to listen to it online, for allowing us to comment on it, hopefully being aware and open to the feedback we gave. You are already aware of it. Let's say we make it happen. How about the melody? I mean, it's okay, but it's not anything revolutionary. It's also a bit repetitive. Any suggestions to vary it? Let's see. Yeah, those wubs too could also be turned up, by the way. Just saying. Any wubs that you have in this section could very well do with the boosting, but that's already been said. Any suggestions to vary the melody? First, we gotta learn the melody. A sharp, pretty good key. It's playing a lot on those notes, eh? I mean, are there any ideas to vary that? Yes, I have like a million of them, but like it depends which direction you're gonna go in. It was inspired by "Ease My Mind" by Skrillex. Okay, cool. That's cool. Alice D&B, join. Unfortunately, the queue is closed. Sorry about that, my dude. But be sure to follow Alice, and you will get the notification next time we go live for a feedback stream. Get in early, and we might get to your stream, your track right away. So yeah, what you're doing is something like that, or something like that. How about exploring any other notes? Those are the only notes you're exploring right now. What if you were to explore? Any of those, you know, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Could just be something that explores the pentatonic or harmonic or melodic minor just a little bit more, because you have a whole scale to work with. You have, or even actually technically, all those notes are at your disposal. So any combination of that scale, it's hard to say which one to do because there are so many options. You know, like let's just jam, really. Scale, I don't think will fit. I don't think it will fit in your song. Let's try it. That you're talking about the Phrygian scale, by the way, is what it's called. I don't think Phrygian will work in yours. Nah, Phrygian doesn't work. Mixolydian won't work either, Magic Ninja Beats. There is a scale on Phrygian that will work in this. I just have to find it, basically. That might work, but it's a different scale altogether. So it's like you're kind of just shifting, but I don't think so, dude. Honestly, Red Fox, keep it simple. Harmonic, melodic, minor will work with your track, but you need to, I think, write a new melody or two or three, however many you want. Really, it's your call. But I think you do need something a little bit more interesting, personally, a little bit different. That, I think, is pretty much all we're going to say about your track. I think the first one sounds better. I do agree with you on that. But either way, it's Red Fox. I appreciate you submitting your track and allowing us for us to listen to it and give feedback on it, and the rest. So I appreciate that. Thank you for trusting us with your track, Red Fox. we will move on down the line here. And I believe the next one we have, if I'm not mistaken, is our last one of the day, Magic Ninja Beats, who's suggesting Mixolydian. That is hilarious. Thank you again, Red Fox. I appreciate that very much. All right. So just pulling that shit up. Thanks for the feedback, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I would suggest that you come back with it when you've worked on it a little bit, so that we can like just see if you're headed in the right or wrong direction. Just one of those songs that might need a little bit of love. That's my personal recommendation to you. But then again, I didn't say anything. Either way, thank you as always, Red Fox. You are appreciated, my dude. Okay, next up and last up for the day is going to be Magic Ninja. Magic Ninja Beats on Twitch. We have, what have we got here? Unsundered. That is, I love the word sundered. Sundered. And it is a word meaning to tear into multiple pieces. I fucking love that word. It's not only one that doesn't sound like its meaning, it sounds like something that is far more productive rather than destructive, or constructive rather than destructive. And yet it has such a gravitas to it. Such a word that is wonderful, wonderful to hear, but also to imagine. I am sundered, or in this case, Magic Ninja is unsundered. Let's hear what he's got. Okay, well, let's start with your comments here. We say, I stick to minor. Well, you explore some major in this. You gotta say, we talk with major sometimes, Magic Ninja Beats. We fuck with major sometimes. Come on, major could be nice. I have a very lovely major song that I could show after. Major can be beautiful. I played all my own guitars this time, no MIDI gits. Good! I still have comments about the guitars, but they are not MIDI related. But now I need knowledge on if I'm doing that right. Okay. Let's explore. So first thing I'm going to say to you overall, your mix, very heavy on the high mids in general. So a lot of things have a lot of high mids. This is something that I've heard of you from your mixes a couple of times, Ninja Beats. It's kind of a beginner's mistake and or an issue where the speakers or headphones that you're using to mix might not be indicative of what your mix actually needs. So it might be either and or both of those problems occurring. We'll have to look into it. Either way, we'll have to explore a little bit more. I think you and I are more than due for a one-on-one session, open project session. The second half of the verse does dip into a neat major progression. That's what I'm saying, actually. I actually enjoyed, that's one of my things that I enjoyed of this song the most, is the change-up actually has like this melodic sequentiality to it, where I actually enjoy that very much. Okay, so heavy on the high mids. I wrote down that the bass is not always flowing, but I think that was a phenomenon that you did at the beginning and at the end. I'm not huge on it, but let's listen to it again. Yeah, so you're like sustaining the notes on some parts, and then you're going with the chord progression on other parts, and this intro section is a little bit unclear in that way, bass-wise, what the structure is. So you're going to have to maybe work on the bass on that section a little bit, because it is sort of muddying things up a little bit. That was my first comment. The guitars now, it was a later comment that I noticed, but the guitars... Correct me if I'm wrong, Magic Ninja, but you have chorus on your guitars, on the left and right guitars, the ones that you've spread to the left and right. You've applied chorus to them, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong about that? Please correct me if I am, because I don't think I am. It sounds like there's chorus on both the left and right guitars. The one in the middle, not necessarily, although I might hear some there too. I'd have to let's zoom in a little bit further deep. On the left, heavy. Okay, so on the right, probably a little bit less or none at all. So here's the thing about that. Right nose should be my chuggy power chords. So you're doing different things on the left and right guitars, correct? You're playing like open strumming on the left and chuggy chords on the right, correct? I believe that that's the case. So I think I know the problem here. Okay. It's so dirty. These dry erase markers are the worst. I hate it, but it'll do the job for now. This is right for you guys, and this is left for you guys. Okay, so right now what you have is the chuggy guitars that are playing on this side. Oh my god, the worst dry erase markers in the world. The strummy guitars that are playing on this side and the chuggy guitars that are playing on that side. What I want you to do, okay, is to take chuggy guitars and record them twice, and then put one here and one here. So chug left and chug right. That's what I want you to do with those guitars. And then I want you to take strummy guitars, and oh, by the way, I should have specified, this is volume. Volume is the Y scale, and the spectrum left and right is the x-axis. So here's the structure that I want you to do. I want you to put your chuggy guitars all the way left and right, 2 of them, okay? So chug right and chug, oops, I wrote that one correctly for me, but incorrectly for you. Chug left, loud, okay, and spread left and right. Then what I want you to do is take your strummy left and strummy right, put them a little more in the center, okay, but not too much, maybe even somewhere like around there. You have range to work with, so it's gonna really depend on what sounds good for your track in particular. Okay, you got 2 of each recorded already. Perfect. Because now you're gonna have layers and you're gonna have wall of sound rather than sounds in the left fighting the sounds on the right. They're going to be working together. But one is 55 and 1 to 100 same side. Yeah, that is a mistake. What we want is symmetry with regards to those things because they're playing different things. If it was 2 different guitar tones, but they were playing pretty much the same thing or the same chords, then it would be different. It would be like, let's say, okay, you have a chorus to the right with a clean guitar and a distorted to the left with the chuggy guitar, with the strummy guitar, and they're both playing strummy guitar rather. That would make more sense. But because you're doing 2 different patterns, this is what you want to do. Super right, super left, reserved for the chugs. Middle and like sort of between 30 to 50%, that's your sweet spot for your strummy guitars. Then you need to take off the chorus for all of the chuggy guitars, and you could leave it on for the strummy guitars, but you're going to want to take off a lot of the distortion on your strummy guitars, okay? That is going to clean up your mix so that the only thing that's really distorted is what's on the left and the right. The center itself is reserved for more clean, pristine sounds. Hello, Jack Spade Za. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you being with us. Hello, Zano TTV. Thank you for joining us for the first time today. Appreciate your presence. So that's it. You want to know what to do with your guitars, Magic Ninja Beats? That's what you got to do with your guitars because that will solve you a whole bunch of problematic frequencies all over the place. The other thing that I want you to do, I don't know if you done it for this track. It sounds like there are some moments where you kind of knew where you were going, but there are some moments where it just kind of lost itself along the way. I want you to write your solo. I want you to listen to the section that you're playing a solo for and you're going like, what goes well here? You know what I want you to do, Magic Ninja Beats? Specifically for your solo writing skills, I want you to go to yesterday's stream. After this one's done, wait for this one to be done, wait for the outro music to play and all that stuff. And then yesterday, I did a stream of me recording one of my songs, and I did specifically that, writing out a solo. And like going section to section and going, what's the best section? What's the best riff for this section? What's the best riff for this section? How do we tie those together? I fucked around quite a bit yesterday, and I actually had quite a lot of writer's block, like not writer's block, but issues writing the solo yesterday. So you'll see me struggling. But I think it'll be good for you to see like that creative process to like know, oh, these kind of sections might do better with this kind of melodic stuff, and this kind of stuff might be a little more dissonant was what I need. It might stimulate some thought in there. You said I wrote it quite a bit. You can hear it in the changes. Well, this is why I noticed that there were some sections where I actually heard you going like, I think this is what he wanted to do in this section. But my worry is not in necessarily the sections. My worry is the transitions and the way you get to those different sections. So I think that they all need to be sort of on the same unit, on the same team. And I think you're getting closer because I did notice, specifically in your case, because I've seen your like progress, I did notice new things that I hadn't noticed before in other solos, which is nice. So that's good. That's good. But yes, exactly. Working on transitioning, phrasing is a great way of saying it, but working on also transitioning from one phrase to another, which is almost equally as important, if not sometimes more important, than the actual phrases, the solo phrases themselves. Yesterday, if you do watch my stream from yesterday, you will definitely see me working a little bit harder to think about how to do that exact process for a solo of mine. So I guess enjoy seeing me struggle. So that's what I wanted you to do with the solo a little bit more, because it does sound thought out, but it sounds like it could use more thought. Specifically there, in between sections where the song changes, could you meet up with the other instruments? Could you do something to counter the other instruments? Do you do something to enhance them? Those things I need you thinking about. So yeah, that's my biggest piece of advice for your soloing. And I'm focusing a lot on your guitars today because specifically the nature of it is that they're all recorded. So I want to encourage that. I want you to do that, but do it like well. So that's why I'm looking at that a lot today. On another note, I think the piano here Here I thought there was a wonderful amount of thought, by the way. I thought that this riff itself was wonderful. Cool. That was cool. So I just got to say, like, I'll give you props. When you did put the thought in, it would work. But you did down and down, down and down and down, down and down and down and down. The second time around, I would have done down and down and down and down and down and down and down. You see what I mean by like thinking of the way that the solo can evolve is like just having that second thought, that second afterthought. I wrote that riff pretty well. I repeat it again. What more can I do on the second repeat that reminds us of the first repeat, but it's still expanding, it's evolving over time. That's what we want, especially with an instrumental track. It's crucial that the story evolves over time. So that's why, that's sort of more examples of what I mean, of like, you did something great, and then some more thought could have been applied right after. Those moments are very important. I slid into the transition. Okay, dude. You know what I mean. If you do a slide into a transition, we could do better than that. You could do better than that. All I'm saying is that you have to think of these things. And like a slide into a transition, it's cute, but do the slide with the new riff. Because again, you did something really cool. Then I would have liked to hear. Like, this is what I mean is like, if you're going to jam on some tracks, the best thing you could do is jam to like evolve those ideas to their maximum potential, but then you edit yourself down. And instead of repeating the same riff twice, well, then you have 2 really well developed riffs instead of 4 ideas that are just riffed out. So that's what I guess is what I'm meaning is like, there is thought and attention that you could be putting into some things that you can certainly think about. Cassin's Corner. Welcome back, Tom. I appreciate you, as always, being here with us. I need a whiteboard. Yeah, I know it's a useful tool to have. It was a little C major arpeggio into B major arp into F major back to C. Yeah, something like that, but you could very well improvise the different levels, the different intervals, not intervals, but the different inversions of those chords. So the different inversions as you go up and up and up. I think, you know what, Magic Ninja Beats? I think something that could be useful to you is if you explore inversions specifically. You'll be able to play the same chord 2 different ways that have their own unique sound, and you will be able to really tell your story by not changing the chords, but just changing the way they're played. So something that I recommend to starting guitarists is the caged method. I don't know if you're aware of this, Magic Ninja Beats. The caged method basically means you learn every way of playing the C major, then every way of playing the A major, then every way of playing G, E, D, etc. You basically start at the basics. You learn C major, first shape, second shape, third shape, fourth shape, fifth shape, and I'm playing it, and in my head, I know how those shapes appear on the guitar depending on how far up the neck I'm going. So when you memorize that, and then you do it for the A, and then you do it for the G, E, D, and then the rest of the chords, you are unstoppable. It's really something that will expand not only your musical knowledge, but your actual playing. You'll be able to know which inversion fits better for which section. And that, for soloing, totally applies. Totally applies. So it's like something that's very, very useful in general. So yes, circle of fifths, all that good stuff. I know intermediate theory. Well, apply it. If you know it, use it. Use your knowledge. Now, the execution and the knowledge are two different things. But what I would say is practice using it so that the execution gets flawless. But, you know, get ballsy with it. Like, really try some shit. So the other thing that I will say arrangement-wise for this song, now this could also be for the actual song itself. It could be very well because the mix itself is sort of very left and right now. But I think that there's a problem with the arrangement itself in that everything is very flat, level-wise, throughout the song, because everything is playing all the time. So, like, there's always all the instruments, the drums, the bass, the guitars that are strumming, the guitars that are chugging, everything is on all the time. And I think that we need to come away from certain instruments sometimes. So like come away from the chugging, maybe come away from the strumming a little bit, take them out of the mix, maybe take them both out of the mix at certain points where there's really like a low moment of intensity. Maybe take everything except for the lead guitar and the strumming. Lead guitar and strumming comes in, and then the bass comes in, and then and then everything's back in. So I think you also need to consider your arrangement to be a part of the band, to be a member of the band. Who plays when? So what I mean by your arrangement being part of the band is Negative Space being a part of the band. And he is not only a member, a separate member of the band in and of himself, Negative Space, he is also part of everyone else's playing. So we need to know... Oh shit. Thank you very much, Con, for the follow that set us to 350. We have reached that goal. Thank you to everyone who followed in this time. We have actually reached it at this point, not just an unfollow. Also, Con, how do we send in a song? I'm sorry, I can't see how. So it's in the About section, but don't worry about it for today because our queue is closed for the day. So please, thank you very much for the follow. We do appreciate that. Please come back on the next one and allow us to listen to your song on the next stream. It was the next time that I'll be on will probably be next week or maybe later on this week sometime, but we'll see. We'll see. Depends on everything. But thank you very much, Con, for our 350th follow. What do we say? We've started a new follower goal. And of course I was going to do it. Of course it's going to be 420. If you thought it was going to be anything else, you're fooling yourself. So here we go. What were we talking about? Yes, so your arrangement. Magic Ninja, is something that I think you could also work on. So once again, being sort of like which instruments appear where. That is called arrangement. And I think that you need to work on that and look at it more as the song shouldn't necessarily expand to a point and then stay to that point of loudness the entire time with all the instruments. I think instruments need to like come in and come out as it should feel for the song. It's hard to say what is required on a global scale because every song needs different things. But yeah, I recommend working on your arrangement a little bit more. And that is to say that you should feel out what sections need what a little bit more. That is, I believe. Oh yeah, the last note that I did stopped. I dropped the piano for 8 bars, bro. Yeah. Oh, so that's actually was my next note. Piano's a little bit soft. The piano's a little bit soft in that particular section, so you wouldn't be it wouldn't be a mistake to turn it up because it is what's taking the lead element, and so those things need to really come out of the woodwork a little bit more. So you need to bring that piano up in the mix. But I will comment on I dropped the piano for 8 bars, bro. LOL. Okay, and what? What else you got besides dropping a piano for 8 bars? Where's the variation? Is it just in the pattern of what people are playing? Okay, well, when we get that better mixed, we will be able to hear that, first of all. But, dude, that's not all we need. That's not all we need. We don't just need to, like, take it out. Oh, okay, you were joking. Okay, that's funny. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You know what's funny, though, Magic Ninjas, is some people are actually serious when they say shit like that. They're like, yeah, well, I did it here. And it's like, well, that's not enough. So either way, yes, I think you get it either way. Ew, Mike, you can stay so nice. The piano is off. The piano is off? So before deciding whether it's off or on, I need to know that it's, like, worth fixing. So I need to hear it. I need to hear it at its full splendor. But let me hear it. Well, it's weird that it's left and right. It's weird that it's like panned oddly, because it sounds like it's panned between the middle and the right and the left. It's kind of like doing this weird effect. So I don't like that super great, personally. But I don't think that it's off, Otsmo. I don't think that it's off. It's playing very simple melodies, but it's not necessarily off. It's on the off beats, but that's okay. His drumming is too. His drumming is like... What am I doing? I have a drum kit right fucking here and an entire plugin that lets me play it for real. So if he plays dun 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 dun. That's not off. That's not off. That is on. But it's on the off beat. But it's on considering the beat. I don't think it's the best melody, personally, Magic Ninja Beats. Here's the thing about piano, Magic Ninja Beats, is you have to know this. You have to basically play piano. You have to play piano to know this. But no pianist would be caught dead playing a one-note solo at a time. I will say that. They would be playing one-handed chords at the minimum, Magic Ninja. So this is something that you should hear about the piano, is that if you're going to play piano, it should be more like, instead of just being one note, where do I have my piano preset here? I know I have it. I used it at some point. I guess I don't have it anymore. Okay, Bruce, with the Prime sub. Very, very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much, my dude. Always a pleasure. So you're playing? Sure, let's say you're playing that, but a pianist would go like. Something like that. It's like basically you have to have a full scale chord with one note that is coming out of the woodwork a little bit more, because it's a piano. It's not necessarily a lead synth, so it doesn't really stand out with one note at the same time. But what will stand out and what will work in and of itself is if the piano is playing these one-handed chords with one note being more prominent than the rest, absolutely. But it just sounds more naturally like a piano actually playing. Otsmo, okay, fair point. With the off, I mean that it sounds like that it does not belong there. I get what you're saying, but I think that it could belong there if this note is applied. Too low to tell, maybe. 2-note chordies, not enough. It needs 3 or 4 notes. Oh boy, I like your hard, honest word fist. Thank you, I think. Pianist should calm the fuck down, says K. Bruce. Okay. Yes, and Otsmo agrees with you, because I've played in a band where the pianist was playing all the time, all of the notes, and it was infuriating. It was like, okay, dude, take a step back, because you need to leave other space for other people. But in this particular case, if you're just doing a one-handed solo and you're adding in the chords to enhance the solo, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I don't have a problem with that. And I think that was my last note about the pianos. Also, I don't recommend the double kick patterns for this song. Just as a drummer, I don't think that necessarily they need to be there. I think you could accomplish far more efficient drumming patterns with simply a very one kick beat. And if you want to go extreme or you want to go a little more intense, could very well with your other notes. Or something like that. You know, like you could very well get complex enough with one pedal. Because I don't think that this song necessarily needs any double pedal. Maybe strategically, if you wanted to do like a roll. Something like that. Maybe. But it's not necessary. I think your drumming patterns could be simpler and more efficient, applying better beats to certain key beats. But again, you're not a drummer. This song was not designed to test your drums. This song was designed to test your guitars. Now, in general, I think you should consider, and I think this will be my last note for you here, Magic Ninja. I think in general, you should explore the possibility of expanding your arrangement knowledge, expanding your inversion knowledge, because that will make you a better songwriter. You'll be able to explore more the dynamic range of songwriting itself. So the chords, you can stick with the same chord progressions. This is a 4-chord song, and there's nothing wrong with a good 4-chord song. But there is something wrong with a 4-chord song that doesn't accomplish anything that has already been accomplished and doesn't need to necessarily, it doesn't bear repeating, is what I guess I'm saying. So what I recommend is, personally, explore inversions a lot more, explore arrangement a lot more, with the intent to make the track itself have more of an actual shape and more of a this way shape, because it's always got to, like, I've always said this, I've never not said this. Your song should be starting here and going up the entire way. Over time, it should be expanding from what it started as. Whether it's expanding in an interesting way, or expanding in a volume way, or aggressivity or / attitude way, is always got to be telling a story, and stories have to develop over time. Otherwise, they're not interesting. So, arrangement and inversions are my key words for you today, Magic Ninja Beats. And I think that will conclude my review of your track. Either way, thank you very much for allowing us to listen to it on the air, for allowing us to comment on it, give you feedback. I know for a fact that you're receptive to that feedback, so I am greatly appreciative of that in particular, because seeing people apply feedback that I give is like one of the most flattering things that I could expect. And honestly, it's heartwarming to see people go like, yeah, I think I'm gonna actually try that. But either way, I think that there has shown growth in your progress, which is why I'm like, oh, great, someone who's listening. Okay, perfect. Here's what you need to do. And yeah, that's why I'm very, very appreciative of your presence here, Magic Ninja, because you are in certainty are of the sort of amateur caliber of music. In the global scale of things, but in your approach to improvement, you are by all means a professional, and I respect that greatly, because that's someone who's like open to growth, who is going to grow. So I cannot wait to see the way you grow. Again, phrasing could have been better on that, but either way, thank you, Magic Ninja Beats, for trusting us with your track. That brings us to the end for today. Unfortunately, the queue is empty and the queue is closed, which unfortunately, Arius Music, hello to you. Thank you very much for your presence. I appreciate it, but unfortunately, we are not taking any more submissions for the evening. We will, however, be back either later this week, but guaranteed next week, one way or the other. And we will be taking anybody's submissions, including but not limited to Otsmo, including but not limited to Maxo, who joins us literally right now. No, Maxo, we are closed. So it's unfortunately not taking any more songs is actually what the case is. We are logging off for the day. So apologies to all whom did not get the chance to submit today. We will be back, I promise. I like you guys too much to not be back. Come on. You guys are too awesome. You guys are musicians, and you guys are musicians trying to improve your craft. So you're some of the most valuable people on this fucking society. So we will be back for you guys. I promise that. I'll be listening to your music long after bedtime, many, many days in a row, as many as I can physically afford. Right now, that's not many, unfortunately. If the stream works out really well, then maybe we'll be able to do it all day, every day. And then we can listen to all your tracks all week. Wouldn't that be wonderful? If so, support the stream. You know what I mean? Thank you, Otsmo, for your comment. Your voice is so nice. I appreciate that very much. And I really like your right shoulder. Is this the right word? My right shoulder? Like this one? Like my right shoulder? I'm not sure. That, you're German. Nice shoulder, bro. Yeah, I'm not sure that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's probably an expression here, guys. Do you like? I actually like to learn this one though. Honestly, before we log off, hold on. No. Everybody, we're learning a new expression today. So first things first, Otsmo, German. Tell us the German phrase. What does it literally say? I like your right shoulder. Is that like the expression, the equivalent in German? I like your right shoulder. Because we're looking this up. We're like learning this now. I don't give a fuck. I need to know. So, I like your right shoulder, German. I have to know. No, I'm not getting any results on Google. I didn't want to share the screen in case I got some weird stuff. You never know what kind of porn is out these days. But Either way, Otsmo, what does this mean? No, yes, I am German, but my English is all right. I guess so. I tied something to hold you longer online. I tried. I thought it was like some German expression. I thought it was like, oh, I like your right shoulder. It means like, I like your support. I like your ability to support others or some shit. I was like interpreting the phrase of like, no, we got to learn this. We got to learn this. You just tricked me. The motherfucker tricked me. Anywho, thank you very much, Otsmo. I appreciate that. We will be back very, very soon indeed. We'll be enabling ourselves to listen to all of your music. In the meantime, I appreciate every single one of you, and we'll be back very soon. But until then, enjoy some of my own music, and toodaloo, motherfuckers. See you guys.
Close your eyes and go to sleep. Dream, oh darling, dream. Forget about the part you play to the machine. And when you wake, know your soul is theirs to keep. You've sat on the dotted line, and now you're in it deep. Well, I ain't got nothing new to say, but another price we've got to pay. Who knew it'd be so hard to look the other way? Lord, I pray. Let the night become the day. Let the night become the day. Run, oh baby, run. We've had a blast, but there ain't time for no more fun. Darkness follows quite soon after the sun, and the shadows that follow you won't stop until they won. Well, I ain't got nothing new to say, but another price we've got to pay. Who knew it'd be so hard to look the other way? Lord, I pray. Let the night become the day.